So hello everyone. Today we will discuss about Rankine vapor power cycle. In the last class we have discussed about the Carnot cycle, which is the ideal form of vapor power cycle which is used in the steam turbines. Now this is Rankine vapor power cycle where it is a more realistic, more practical in nature when compared to the Carnot cycle. In this particular Rankine cycle, the major difference if you observe the Carnot cycle and Rankine cycle, you'll be observing this thing. There would be a compressor in case of Carnot cycle. Here it is only just a pump because the pumping is not much more required in the Rankine cycle, but the pumping action or increasing the pressure is very much required in case of a Carnot cycle. We shall see when it goes. So here the heat is added in three stages. One is an economizer, a little part of heat is added, some more part of heat is added in boiler, and a little more heat is added in superheater. So remember, the steam is generated. That means the saturated water is being converted into superheated vapor in three different stages. One is economizer, boiler, and superheater. We shall discuss about it in the later stages. So just kindly take this block diagram. We shall go into the processes now. So this particular thing explains the PV diagram of Rankine cycle, and this particular thing explains the TS diagram of the Rankine cycle. So the process 1 to 2, you already know that it is isentropic, constant entropy, adiabatic expansions. This happens in the turbine, you know that. So expansion happens in the turbine, which is isentropic in nature. That is very much clear. Now, 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat rejection, is it? Usually, you must observe this particular factor here. After expansion from 1 to 2, the state 2 always lies in the wet region. Always lies in the wet region. That means it has some amount of dryness fraction. It is not on the saturated vapor line, nor it is not on the vapor region. So it is completely within the wet region. That means it is a mixture of liquid plus vapor. It has some dryness fraction. So state 2 is always in the wet region. From the wet region, what happens? The steam or the liquid and vapor mixture is being completely condensed, and that means heat is being lost, condensation process is been happening, and it reaches the saturated liquid line, that is state 3, with which is the output of the condenser. So from 2 to 3, heat rejection process occurs in the condenser. From 3 to 4, what happens? Here is a pumping action. A little bit of pressure is raised of that particular saturated water. Okay, from 3 to 4, this particular thing, if you go here, from 3 to 4, a little bit of pressure is being raised from 3 to 4. Okay, but there is no huge temperature rise, there is only small temperature rise. Okay, basically we are doing 3 to 4 for the pumping action, that is to increase the pressure, not to increase the temperature. So from 3 to 4, it was in the Brayton cycle it was by the compressor. In the Rankine cycle it is by the pump. Okay, now 4 to 1 is a heat addition process, correct? So 4 to 1 heat addition process is being split up into three different zones here. Why? Because in each zone it has its own phase characteristics. Like, see, from 4 to 1, what happens? In the 4, the state of the working substance would be just subcooled liquid. Okay, this particular liquid is being heated up to raise its temperature. See, from 4 to A, the point A, the temperature is being raising, but there is no phase change from 4 to A. There is no phase change from 4 to A, only temperature is been raising. That means the temperature of the subcooled liquid is being raised to reach the saturated state at the state A. Okay, now at the state A, the saturation state has been reached. Now, what is saturation state? If I provide a little more energy, it will start converting into the vapor. So this is meaning of the saturation state, is it? That means from 4 to A, there is only increase in the temperature of the liquid, only liquid, guys. So there is only increase in the temperature of the liquid, but there is no phase change. So this particular process happens in an economizer. Okay. Now, from A to B, that means here it is 100% liquid. State B is 100% vapor. So what is happening here? From state A to state B, the liquid is completely getting converted into vapor at state B. Okay, without the increase in the temperature. During the phase change, there is no increase in the temperature. The temperature is constant throughout the process. Whatever heat you are giving, it is just utilized for conversion of its phase from state A, which is saturated liquid, to state B, which is saturated vapor. Okay, once the saturated vapor has been reached, what happens? From state B, if you increase further heat, if you provide more heat, what happens to the vapor? The vapor will raise its temperature. The vapor will go on raising its temperature to reach the state 1. So totally, I can say the heat has been added in 3 different stages, that is 4 to A to B, and B to 1. 4 to A is added in economizer, A to B is added in boiler, where the phase change takes place. Saturated water is converted into saturated vapor here, and B to 1 is being superheated. The vapor is being heated to reach the state 1 here. So keep this in mind. The heat has been added in 3 different stages, as you can see even here also. So entire process is isobaric, but while you are adding up the heat to change its phase, that is from A to B, which is isobaric as well as isothermal, only from state A to B. All the others, that means 4 to A and B to 1, are only isobaric. So there are only isobaric. You can see here isobaric, 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 but here it is isobaric but not isothermal. A to B is isobaric and isothermal both, and B to 1 is just isobaric but not isothermal. So just take this out. And in this particular thing, the work done and the heat rejection and heat addition always taken in the difference of their enthalpy. Okay, difference of their enthalpy. Now, work done by the turbine is rare, from 1 to 2, is it? So for the works it is initial minus final, and for the heats it is final minus initial, correct? So for the work it is initial minus final, H1 minus H2, that's it. Now, for the process 2 to 3, which is constant pressure heat rejection, what is the heat transfer from 2 to 3? I told you heats is always final minus initial. Final state is H3, initial state is H2. So H3 minus H2 would give you the heat rejection from 2 to 3. Similarly, pumping process 3 to 4. How will you do that? So pumping process, work done. So work done, how will you calculate? It is initial minus final. Initial is state 3, final is state 4. So it is H3 minus H4. Okay, and last one is the heat addition process. I told you the heat is added in 3 different stages, that is state in the economizer, in the boiler, as well as the superheater. Same thing has been given here. Please kindly take it down from where to where it is changing and what is the phase and temperature rise and fall characteristics. It has been neatly given. Just take it down. Okay, so the total overall heat addition is being done in economizer, which is HA minus H4. Again, it is final minus initial. Final state is A and initial state is 4 here. And in the boiler, it is HB minus HA, final is B and initial is A. So HB minus HA, and in the superheater, it is H1 minus HB. Okay, and totally if you want to calculate the heat added, the heat supplied is given by state 4 to 1, which is H1 minus H4. So this is the thing. So it is H1 totally minus H4. Okay. Now, net work done is given by, you can use the first law for this. So net work done is equals to the net heat flow of the system, heat supplied plus heat rejected. So you can just substitute it and get the things. And even the thermal efficiency also. thermal efficiency is net work done divided by heat supplied. Net work done you have calculated here, which is this one, and heat supplied is H3 minus H2, just substituted. You can divide the things and you can get this expression also. And the work ratio is again net work done divided by positive work. Net work done is this particular thing which you have derived here, and positive work is nothing but the turbine work, which is H1 minus H2. Just substitute and keep the things at the last. So this is the end of the Rankine cycle, guys. Okay.